interesting. So today I'm doing a recap of the Polygon angle sum theorem, which we learned before in class. Make sure if you are confused or don't remember what a polygon is, to go back and watch the other video that I posted in Google Classroom about polygons. But for now, I'm just focusing on this video, very short, on the Polygon angle sum theorem. Remember that the word sum means I'm adding everything together. So the whole total of every angle, when I add every angle inside the shape together, what that equals. Okay, and so how I find the sum total of what's inside the polygon is first I need to look at the polygon and determine how many sides there are. So in this shape, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Okay, so it's an octagon. Okay, now that I know that there's 8 sides, I look at the formula, which is up here, n minus 2 times 180, n equals the number of sides. So since I found out that the number of sides is 8, n is equal to 8. So then when I plug it in, the formula, I'm going to write 8 minus 2 times 180. Well, 8 minus 2 is 6, so that ends up being 6 times 180. And then 6 times 180 equals 1080. So that means inside of this shape or this octagon, when I add all of the angles together, I get 1080 degrees. So this will vary depending on the shape. If there's 5 sides, if there's 4 sides. There's actually a chart inside your book that shows that and has a couple of them, and there was a worksheet that I gave to you that has the polygon name, the number of sides, and then how many sides or how many degrees will be inside that shape. Okay, so in this next example, I switch it up a little bit. So it's still the Polygon angle sum theorem, but this time there's variables thrown into it. So the variable that they threw in here is x. And so first, just like in the previous example, I need to find out the sum total because I need to be able to add all the variables together and set them equal to something. So I have to figure out what the sum total is first of all the angles inside of the shape. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So I know that n is going to be equal to 5. So when I set up my equation, I get 5 minus 2 times 180. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So 3 times 180. And 3 times 180 is 540. So 540 degrees. So that's how many degrees are in here all total. But if I want to know each angle on its own, I have to be able to add all the variables together and solve for x and set them equal to 540. So what that means is we'll start with the lowest one. We'll say 18x plus 18x plus 32x plus 32x plus 35x. And that equals 540 degrees. So then what I'll do is I'll look here and I'll combine my like terms. So I can add all of those together because they all have the same exact variable. So I could say 18 plus 18 plus 32 plus 32 plus 35, and I get 135x. So just to recap one more time, so I have 18 plus 18 plus 32 plus 32 plus 35. And that equals 135. So then I can set that equal to 540. And then I just use algebra. So I'm just going to divide by 135 since 135 is being multiplied times x. So I'm going to do the opposite because I want x by itself. So this will cancel out. X will be left alone. And then I'll have 540 divided by 135 and x is 4. So that means I'll have to plug 4 in everywhere there's an x for each one. So let's start with angle A. I'll use a different color. So angle A is 35 times x or 35 times 4, since x is 4, and that will equal 140. If I look at angle B, it's 18x, so 18 times 4, and 18 times 4 is 72. We'll skip over to angle E because that's also the same thing. So instead of redoing all the math over again, we'll just write it really quick. Okay, then C and D. So angle C is 32x. So I have 32 times 4. And 32 times 4 is 128. And then angle D is the same. Okay, so that would be finding each angle using the angle sum theorem. However, if you want to double check everything just to make sure, all of these numbers right here have to be able to add up to 540 to make sure that everything is correct. So if I do it really quick and I say 140 plus 72 plus 72 plus 128 plus 128, and it equals 540.